Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Visual Communication and Media. My name is Adam Rozeski. It's a pleasure to see each and every one of you. I'm so excited to have y'all here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Really cool things. It's one of the cool. It's really an easy class to really go through. I'm really excited to have y'all here and really just talk about just different ways we can communicate visually in different elements. So I'm really happy. This class I've been teaching for about almost a decade now. It's really changed over years. Definitely gotten a little bit more simplified, which really helps you out. And then I'm really excited to really go into it because a lot of people don't really realize this is the fact that we communicate visually more than we do auditorially. And I don't even know if that's really like audibly. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. So we communicate visually a lot more than we do with our voice and vocally a lot of times. Anytime we hear things, and the more things that are audible are usually communicated visually at the same time, if not in different elements. And this is related to the different ways visuals are built so that different things can be communicated specifically to different audiences. And this matters, right? Because when you build visuals and you build something, you want to make sure it reads right to the particular audience. So that's really crucial. So without visual communication or really creating targeted visual communication to the right people, you may confuse viewers. And that's where a lot of times we tend to see a lot of confusion because people don't put context to visuals, and then they want to try to either incite or enrage certain people, or they want to get them happy and excited. They really play on emotions and cognitive memories. And that's what we're really going to talk about this next 6 weeks, is how visuals really play into the human mind and how you can build your stuff so that you can garner specific responses and specific elements and make sure that you communicate properly, and how you want to communicate visually to specific audiences. And that really matters over time. And that's what we're really going to be focusing on, a lot of different ways on how response types matter and how they're built based upon how you communicate. And yeah, it's going to be great. So let's get into it a little bit. So, just to give you a heads up, my name is Adam Rozeski. You don't have to call me Professor Mrozeski or Mr. Mrozeski. Also, my last name's really hard to pronounce, so don't worry about it. Adam's just fine. I kind of treat everybody one-to-one. Just to give everybody a heads up, I'm a very upfront teacher. Because of my job, I'm a senior project manager, and I have to let people know how things are in order to, make sure they improve and grow as a person. So I'm going to be straightforward with you, but I'm all about helping you out and getting you through. The more effort you put into your work, and the more examples you bring, and the more detail and reasoning behind your answers, I'm definitely going to help you out because I can see you put in really shine. Because as long as you do your assignments and put the effort in on each one of those and follow the instructions, I'm definitely going to help you out 100%. It's really going to be great. So, yeah. Other than that, if you run into any issues or anything, please contact me ahead of time. Please don't wait till the last minute and wait till that 6th week or that shortened 6th week or the 5th week to try and finish everything up. If you run into problems right off the bat, message me. I'd be happy to schedule it out. It'll work great. Now, just a little bit about my background. Yeah, I bounced around a little bit. So I started all sorts of jobs. I went to Penn State. I tried to be a professional hockey goalie, and I got injured. I was only in Division II, so I really didn't make it far in the college series. But I kind of did a lot of competitive gaming when I was working for the airlines for my dad, and he did a lot of ground contract work. So I was bringing in aircraft and working on the mechanics of them, just as kind of like an intern or more just like an assistant. And then I became a supervisor over time. But I was a big gamer. I competed in all sorts of games early on, like in the PS2 and the early PC MMO games. Probably in the 2000s, I'd say probably like 2006 to 2009, I was probably big into it. 2000, no, it was I apologize. It was, 2006 to 2008. Those are the 2 years right there. And I was really a competitive gamer with Gran Turismo, Star Wars Battlefront 2, multiple MMOs. This was before Major League Gaming and really competitive esports was really happening. And so it was just mostly tournaments and stuff. Not really anything big, but I definitely put some time in. I probably regret not to this day because I feel like I just look at those. I'm like, wow, I just wasted a year of gaming. But it was kind of fun, and I really enjoyed it, and it really wanted me to get into video games in a more job-wise perspective, a career. I really want to do something in design or work on the code. And so I ended up going to UCF in Full Sail. I got my bachelor's in entertainment business, and I got my master's degree in game design. Also have associates from Penn State in mechanical engineering. But yeah, got there. I had my thesis. It got picked up, and I worked for a bunch of companies at GP Games, Activision, and EA as a producer analyst. I worked on over 42 games over my career at Activision and EA across 4 years. Luckily, I was with the design team and the user experience team, so I got to bounce around and see a lot of stuff and really go different areas. That was really a cool aspect. I worked on a lot of different games. I worked on Madden, NHL, FIFA, Call of Duty, Battlefront, Hearthstone. I was one of the lead designers on the tutorials for Dragon Age Inquisition, also for NCAA 14. The recruiting system's mine. Did a lot of video games, and then I got into VR probably when I started working for Universal, right after I left EA, and pretty much never left. So I worked for a few VR game companies, like Wason, right after I left Universal to get some management experience. And now I work for a company called Mass Virtual. It does a lot of VR training simulation elements, and I'm their senior project manager. So I manage up to about 150 people, and I use a bunch of agile and waterfall techniques. And I take a lot of what I've learned in the 12 years in the game industry that I was in to really showcase what I'm good at and bring it out to a more simulated aspect and immersion too. So it'll be really great. And really excited to see how VR and XR are really expanding. And I feel like that's really the way to go, more especially toward the military aspect. But other than that, no, it's been a lot of fun. Worked on a ton of games. Now in simulation and really showing what I can do. So that's great. So yeah, let's just talk about some of the types of assignments you have. Of course, you have your live lectures. We'll talk about those in a minute. But we also have discussions and written assignments. So each of your discussions, keep in mind your initial post is due on Tuesday, except for week 1, which is this week. That will be Saturday. To keep in mind with that. So you can put your reply post and your initial post both on Saturday this week, which will be the let me think here. Class starts on the 10th, so 11th, 12th. They'll be the 13th. So make sure you get that in by the 13th. I got this calendar thing on my computer. Yeah, definitely the 13th. So make sure you get it in by the 13th. Both your reply and your initial post. But that's just for week 1. Keep in mind the rest of the weeks, always Tuesday and Saturday. Your initial post will always be due on Tuesday. Your reply post will always be due on Saturday. Please make sure with your discussions to do at least 2 paragraphs per post. That way I can show you and bring some detail into it. That way I know you definitely put in the time and looked around for that. I'm not a fan of the 1 or 2 sentence discussion post, and it really doesn't add much to the post. So I want to see you guys really bring more and extend the conversation out. That's really what I want you to do over here. Now, keep in mind, final day for all assignments for discussions will be June 16th. That's the last day of class. Same thing with written assignments. Written assignments are always going to be due on Sunday. I always post the rubrics Monday as soon as you guys get it on as soon as everybody gets in on the next week. So you have everything ready to go. Your announcements, everything. It should be listed right there. And that's also due the final day is June 16th as well. So you have that. Now, you also have lectures, too. So we always have lectures. I like having my lectures on Tuesday. It's probably the time I have capable with it, especially with family and all this. They're always on Tuesday, except for week 1. Week 1, we're going to do it on Thursday. And they'll always take place 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. So 6 p.m. Central, if you're in Central Time. If you're on the East Coast like I am, it'll be on 7 p.m. Eastern. So don't feel bad if you miss them. I do like having you there because sometimes it's kind of rough, like just talking to myself and trying to figure out how to expand that. But I like making sure, because classes I have are a lot of fun. I do a lot of discussions, and they don't really follow the normal format that most lectures take. I like class participation and talking about different principles and how people view different visual communication points. So I think you'll get a lot if you join class instead of watch the recording sometime. But it's okay if you can't make it. I know I have 2 jobs. I have 2 kids. I also have a bunch of stuff that I do as well that I want to keep going. If you can't make it, it's all good. Don't worry. You have recordings, and recordings are great. They're always going to be posted the morning after Wednesday morning, so you'll have them right as soon as Wednesday pops up. And this will help with your lecture assignment. And I'll tell you how to do your lecture assignment on the first lecture, which will be on Thursday. So keep that in mind, and make sure you record. Make sure you do your lecture assignment. I'll tell you how to do it during lecture. But make sure you do them each week. They're all due on Sunday. They're 5 points per piece, and they're pass fail. So they're tied to your attendance. So if you miss it, or if you don't have it by Sunday, it's a fail. That's the only thing I probably don't bend on is the live lecture stuff. So if you don't make it because it ties to your attendance, please make sure. Now, if you're gonna miss something or have like an emergency pop up, just contact me and I'll work with you, and that'll be fine. But other than that, no, these are pretty much pass fail. Make sure you give me what I need. If you don't, then definitely I can tell you didn't watch the lecture or two. Make sure they're on time. If they're not, they tie to your attendance. So they're always going to be 0 or 100. So make sure you get those done. I'll tell you how to do them on Thursday, on the 11th, and that way you'll know everything goes well. Sweet. All right, and then that's pretty much it. Just some class expectations. Late assignments are 10%. Each day they're late, they're going to be 10% off. And then once they hit 7 days, they become an automatic 0. Please contact me early if you are going to be late on an assignment or anything, because I will help you. Just don't leave it to the end and leave it empty. Then I'm going to count the late points and put that all in there. So keep that in mind. If you need help, just always send me a message. Communicate with these things. Don't wait till the last moment. That way we can do things. Another aspect, be courteous and respectful on your discussion posts, but also be thorough. I want you to make sure 2 paragraphs per discussion post. So it should be like 4 paragraphs. 2 for your initial, 2 for your reply posts. And give detail, give thorough understanding, expand the conversation, ask more about it. Because the more you do that, the more effort you put in, I'll definitely give you more points for those. That'll help you out for sure. And just be positive and respectful to your classmate. Make sure it's constructive feedback. That's all I ask, and go from there. No slandering or anything like that. Be professional. And otherwise, just 2 rules and have fun. Yeah, it's going to be 2 rules, discover and have fun. Just I hope you were able to find something out of this class, because I know you'll probably get this and you're like, it's visual communication. I kind of know how to do that. I'll make it fun. And we'll have a lot of good conversations and really go about this and really make this amazing. And just have some fun with it. Can't enjoy things if you don't have fun, right? And that's pretty much all I got. So if you have any questions, let me know. Your rubrics are on the announcements. Please double check the announcements. Please post to the course lounge or the discussion post if you want to get a little bit about myself and everything. Other than that, that's all I got. So be safe, have fun, enjoy. Hope to see everybody for lecture on Thursday, and have a good one. Bye-bye.